When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and dig deep trenches in thy beauty's field, thy youth's proud livery so gazed on now will be a tattered weed of small worth held. Then, being asked, where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure of thy lusty days, to say within thine own deep sunken eyes were an all deep shame and thriftless praise. How much more praise deserved thy beauty's use if thou could answer, this fair child of mine shall sum my count and make my old excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy blood warm when thou feelst it cold.
Those hours that with gentle work did frame the lovely gaze where every eye doth dwell, will play the tyrants to the very same, and that unfair which fairly doth excel. But never resting time leads summer on, to hideous winter he confounds him there. Sap checked with frost and lusty leaves quite gone, beauty o'ersnowed, barrenness everywhere. Then were not summer's distillation left, a liquid prisoner pinned in walls of glass. Beauty's effect with beauty were bereft, nor it, nor no remembrance what it was. With flowers distilled, though they with winter meet, least but their show, their substance still lives sweet.
Then let not winter's ragged hand deface in thee thy summer ere thou be distilled. Make sweet some vow, treasure thou some place, with beauty's treasure ere it be self-killed. That use is not forbidden usury, which happies those that pay the willing loan. That's for thyself to breed another thee, or 10 times happier, be it 10 by 1. 10 times thyself were happier than thou art. If 10 of thine 10 times refigured thee, then what could death do if thou shouldest depart? Leaving thee living in posterity? Be not self-willed, for thou art much too fair to be death's conquest and make worms thine heir.
Is it for fear to win a widow's eye that thou consumest thyself in single life? Ah, if thou issueless shalt have to die, the world will wail thee like a makeless wife. The world will be thy widow, and still weep that thou no form of thee hast left behind. When every private widow well may keep by children's eyes her husband's shape in mind. Look what an unthrift in the world doth spend, shifts but his place, for still the world enjoys it. But beauty's waste hath in the world an end, and kept unused, the user so destroys it. No love toward others in that bosom sits, that on himself such murderous shame commits.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date.
Sometime too hot the eye of heaven's shine, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed.
By thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest.
So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
As an imperfect actor on the stage, who with his fear is put beside his part, or some fierce thing replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart. So I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's right, and in mine own love's strength seems to decay, or charged with burthen of mine own love's might. Oh, let my looks be then the eloquence, and dumb presagers of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense, more than the tongue that more hath more expressed. Oh, learn to read what silent love hath writ, to hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit.
What is your substance? Wherefore are you made, that millions of strange shadows on you tend? Since everyone hath, everyone, one shade, and you, but one, can every shadow lend. Describe Adonis, and the counterfeit is poorly imitated after you. On Helen's cheek, all art of beauty set, and you, in Grecian tears, are painted new. Speak of the spring and foison of the year. The one doth shadow of your beauty show, the other as your bounty doth appear. And you, in every blessed shape we know, in all external grace you have some part, but you, like none you for a constant part.
Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before, in sequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned, crooked ellipses gainst his glory fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet, due times and hope, my verse shall stand, praising thy worth, despite his cruel hand.
Ah, wherefore with infection should he live, and with his presence grace and piety, that sin by him advantage should achieve, and lace itself with his society? Why should false painting imitate his cheek, and steal dead seeming of his living hue? Why should poor beauty indirectly seek roses of shadow, since his rose is true? Why should he live now, nature bankrupt is, beggared of blood to blush through lively veins? For she hath no exchequer now but his, and proud of many lives upon his gains. O him she stories to show that wealth that she had in days long since before these last so bad.
That thou art blamed shall not be thy defect, for slander's mark was ever yet the fair. The ornament of beauty is suspect, a crow that flies in heaven's sweetest air. So thou be good, slander doth but approve, thy word the greater, being wooed of time. For canker vice the sweetest buds doth love, and thou presentest a pure unstained prime. Thou hast passed by the ambush of young days, either not assailed or victor being charged, yet this thy praise cannot be so thy praise, to tie up envy evermore enlarged. If some suspect of ill masked not thy show, then thou alone kingdoms of hearts shouldest owe.
Not mine own fears, nor the prophetic soul of the wide world dreaming on things to come, can yet the lease of my true love control, supposed as forfeit to a confined doom. The mortal moon hath her eclipse endured, and the sad augurs mock their own presage. Uncertainties now crown themselves assured, and peace proclaims olives of endless age. Now with the drops of this most balmy time, my love looks fresh, and death to me subscribes. Since spite of him, I'll live in this poor rhyme, while he insults o'er dull and speechless tribes, and thou in this shalt find thy monument, when tyrants' crests and tombs of brass are spent.
Let me not the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love when it alters when alteration finds, or bends with remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempest and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth unknown although his height be taken. Love's not time's full, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle compass comes. Love alters not within brief hours and weeks, but bears out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me prove, I never read, nor no man ever loved.
Thou blind fool, love, what dost thou to mine eyes? That thy behold and see not what they see? They know what beauty is, see where it lies. Yet what the best is take the worst to be. If eyes corrupt by over-partial looks, be anchored in the bay where all men ride. Why of eyes falsehood hath thou forged hooks? Whereto the judgment of my heart is tied. Why should my heart think that several plot, which my heart knows the wide world's commonplace? Or mine eyes, seeing this, say this not, to put fair truth upon so foul a face. In things right true my heart and eyes have erred, and this false plague are now they transferred.
Poor soul, the center of my sinful earth, these rebel powers that thee array, why dost thou pine within and suffer dearth, painting thy outward walls so costly gay? Why so large cost, having so short a lease, dost thou upon thy fading mansion spend? Shall worms, inheritors of this excess, eat up thy charge? Is this thy body's end? Then soul, live thou upon thy servant's loss, and let that pine to aggravate thy store. Buy terms divine and selling hours of dross, within be fed, without be rich no more. So shall thou feed on death that feeds on men, and death once dead, there's no more dying then.
My love is as a fever longing still for that which longer nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain, sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me. And I desperate now approve, desire is death, which physic did accept. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with ever more unrest. My thoughts and my discourse as madmen's are, at random from the truth, vainly expressed. For I have sworn thee fair, and thought thee bright, who art as black as hell, as dark as night.
Oh me, what eyes hath love put in my head, which have no correspondence with true sight? Or, if they have, where is my judgment fled that censures falsely what they see aright? If that be fair, whereon my false eyes dote, what means the world to say that it is not so? If it be not, then love doth well denote love's eye is not so true as all men's. No, how can it be? Oh, how can love's eye be true? That is so vexed with watching and with tears. No marvel then, though I mistake my view, the sun itself sees not till heaven clears. O cunning love, with tears thou keep'st me blind, lest eyes well seeing thy foul faults should find.
Oh, from what power hast thou this powerful might, with insufficiency my heart to sway, to make me give the lie to my true sight, and swear that brightness doth not grace the day? Whence hast thou this becoming of things ill, that in the very refuse of thy deeds there is such strength and warranties of skill, that in my mind thy worst all best exceeds? Who taught thee how to make me love thee more, the more I hear and see just cause of hate? Oh, though I love what others do abhor, with others thou shouldst not abhor my state. If thy unworthiness raised love in me, more worthy I to be beloved of thee.
Love is too young to know what conscience is. Yet who knows not? Conscience is born of love. Then, gentle cheater, urge not my amiss, lest guilty of my faults thy sweet self prove. For thou betraying me, I do betray my nobler part to my gross body's treason. My soul doth tell my body that he may triumph in love. Flesh stays no farther reason, but rising at thy name, doth point out thee as his triumphant prize. Proud of this pride, he is contented thy poor drudge to be, to stand in thy affairs, fall by thy side, No want of conscience hold it that I call her love, for whose dear love I rise and fall.
What? Will the aspiring blood of Lancaster sink in the ground? I thought it would have mounted. If any spark of life be yet remaining, down, down to hell! Say, I sent thee thither. I, that have neither pity, love, nor fear. Indeed, 'tis true that Henry told me of, for I've often heard my mother say I came into the world with my legs forward. Had I not reason, think ye, to make haste and seek their ruin that usurped our right? The midwife wondered, and the woman cried, "Oh, Jesus, bless us! He's born with teeth!" So I was, which plainly signified that I should snarl and bite and play the dog. Since the heavens have shaped my body so, let hell make crooked my mind to answer it. I have no brother. I am like no brother. His word, love, which graybeards call divine, be resident in men like one another, and not in me. I am myself alone.
How now, spirits? Whither wander you?
Over hill, over dale, over park,
Through bush, through briar,
through a flood, through a fire. We do wander everywhere.
swelter through the moons of fear.
And we serve the fairy queen to dew her orbs upon the green. I must go seek some dewdrops here.
And hang a pearl in every cowslip seer.
Farewell, thou loves of spirits, I'll be gone. Our queen and all her elves come here anon.
The king doth keep his revels here tonight. Take heed, the queen come not within his sight, for Oberon is passing fell in wrath, because she, as her attendant hath, oh, a lovely boy stolen from an Indian king. Oh, she never had so sweet a changeling, and jealous Oberon would have the child, knight his train and trace the forest wild. Oh, but she perforces him and holds the loved boy, crowns him with flowers, and makes him all her joy. And now they never meet in grove or green. By mountain clear our spangled starlight sheen, oh, but they do square, that all their elves for fear creep into acorn cups and hide them there.
Either I mistake your shape in making white, or else you are that shrewd and action sprite.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not nor cannot love you?
And even for that, I do love you the more. I am your spaniel, Demetrius, and the more you lead me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave. Unworthy as I am to follow you, what worse place can I beg in your love? And yet a place of higher respect to me than to be used as you use your dog.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
If we shadows have offended, know but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme, no more yielding, but a dream. Let your epilogue alone.
I have had a most rare vision. I've had a dream. Ask the little man to say what dream it was.